Hey everybody, Star 6 Wars 1 here, and welcome to the next movie of Anime Movie Month 3. For this one, we're going to be covering the second of the Berserk trilogy, Berserk Movie 2, The Battle for Doldrey. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. After watching the first movie, I was a tad bit worried about this movie because if you know my opinion of the first movie, I thought it was pretty good, but had a great deal of flaws that did hamper the movie from being a total badass movie. Does this movie make up for it, or does this movie completely flop? Well, let's find out. First up, the story. Okay, the story has some major things I need to talk about. First, it has the exact same problems as the first movie, but I think this time they're much more noticeable. The cutting for this movie feels worse than the first. Important plot points from the manga and the original anime are completely cut. And the worst part of that is, this movie is actually 15 minutes longer than the previous one. That is incredibly stupid. That not only is this movie longer than the first, but it actually has more cutting and feels more rushed than before. The hell? Sorry, but that bugs me. Because, honestly, you didn't need to do that. Ugh. If I'll give the story one thing, however, towards the end of the movie, it does show events that were in the manga that were not in the original anime and were cut there. I applaud the movie for that much, and I'm giving it credit where credit's due. I like that they did that. That does not excuse them from cutting events that were important for character development and plot, which is, again, incredibly stupid when you realize the movie's actually longer than the previous one. Overall, the story is still on the okay side, but the problems are much more prevalent here now than they were before. So overall, ugh. The characters, thankfully, are also the same, which is a very good thing considering the fact that, again, they could have easily screwed them up. Casca still feels like Casca. Guts still feels like Guts. Griffith still feels like Griffith. The Band of the Hawk feels like the Band of the Hawk. The only trouble comes into play when they are rushed. And this is a major problem because when you realize the little fact that this was unneeded. Why, oh why, did they cut character development that was entirely needed to understand the characters more better? This is my so again, the story's problems this time even leak into the characters, which is a major shame because I really love this character cast, and it makes me so sad to see this happen. Just, overall though, the characters are still good, just why did you have to cut some character development? The animation is the exact same opinion I have of the first film. The backgrounds look nice, the character designs when not moving look pretty good. When they're moving, they look god-awful due to the CGI. Except one, like the story problems, I think they're actually worse here. Because there's much more action going on. The CGI is much more noticeable and looks even worse for it. Again, that's stupid. And I just learned this fact. These two movies were released months between each other. Which, there is no time for creating animation that is better. Like, that is a stupid ploy. You should have released it later to fix the problems the animation had from the first film. But no, you didn't. You kept them there, and why did you do that? That is stupid. Overall, the animation is still a major gripe of mine from this film. Finally, we have the music, and I actually think this is the one thing that's actually a bit improved over the first film. I think the music is slightly better in this film, though to give it credit, I just really like the music here better than the first. I'm not sure how much it compares still to the original anime, but it's still pretty good here. What is also good here is still the dub. The dub is still great as always. I enjoyed listening to it. Best performances are the exact same with Mark Dryson and Casca's voice actress, whose name sadly escapes me. Overall, the dub is still really good, and the music is pretty good as well. There is a lot I like about this film, and there is a lot I do not like about this film. The film's strengths are the characters and music, two things I heavily employ with it. Unfortunately, the pacing of the story, the cutting parts of the story, and the animation just kind of, in a small little way, break the film for me and take me out of the experience. I give this movie credit. You covered a few things that the original anime didn't. Thank you for that much. Why did you have to cut certain scenes that were important? That is the one price tag I don't accept. Overall, I think the movie is good, but I think it's actually got more flaws than the first. And that's a real shame. I give Berserk Movie 2 a 6 out of 10. I hate giving it a lower score than the first because in some ways I think this is actually a better film, but in many others it is actually a far worse. And quite frankly, I'm just severely disappointed with a lot of the choices made here. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all from me. This has been Star 6 Wars 1, and I'll see you guys next time.